There comes a point in everyone's life where they experience loss. Many of us attribute loss to the death of a loved one, but it's so applicable to so many situations, such as a breakup, the end of a way of life, the change of career, the death of a dream, and often with loss comes the inevitable experience of grief and mourning. And for some of us, grief lessens over time, and in many cases, it doesn't. And we have it for not only the duration of this lifetime, we carry it into other lifetimes as well. And if grief does stay with us through many lifetimes, it can compound into unexplained depression. There are also those among us who have grief and loss very profoundly written into their soul plan. And this can sometimes help explain why some people's lives are filled with grief and loss and others experience it very briefly. And besides grief, there are so many other emotions associated with loss that we need to acknowledge. Anger, resentment, rage, the experience that life is not fair, and even the confusion about why did this happen. And in some cases, some of us just shut down and refuse to deal with the loss. We bury the emotion deep in the crawl space of our unconsciousness, never to be seen again. And while there is no quick fix for all these emotions and the inevitability of loss during our lifetime, for those of you that love to work with crystals to help heal your consciousness, these are some of my best suggestions for healing through loss. This list is compiled of minerals that I have not only had a personal experience with, but also minerals that are well known for dealing with loss, mourning, grief, and bereavement. And I have tried to include a wide range of minerals that mirror the experiences of loss, but there are so many I can't cover them all. So if I've missed any favorites that you have, please put them in the comments and share with everybody. So the quintessential stone for dealing with grief and loss and mourning is Apache tear. This is a form of obsidian, and it is comforting for all forms of loss, particularly if you've lost a loved one. I think my favorite is Chrysoprase. It is incredible for dealing with heartbreak of any kind, and I have noticed that it numbs the pain after things such as breakup or loss, so your heart doesn't ache. I mean, it can be used for any type of grief, really, and I have had wonderful personal experiences with it. Spirit quartz in any form, either the amethyst or any other color, this is like a smoky citrine, is really powerful for dealing with any sort of devastation. It offers support, it gives perspective, and it helps treat shock and trauma. So it's amazingly supportive for help coping with unexpected loss. Cobaltan calcite is amazingly uplifting during a dark time. It is known to provide emotional support and helps you heal from heartache. It also can make you more compassionate. Celestite is a stone that's known for bringing hope during time of despair, and it's really supportive for those of you who have experienced the type of loss that's so chaotic you don't know how you're going to proceed. Like if you feel your whole world was just snatched away from you, this is a very good stone to help bring things back into perspective. It's also just an excellent healing stone. Vesuvianite or idocrase are really good for those who bury their feelings and tend to turn their grief into anger. I would say pair it with a little smoky quartz, hematite, or orange calcite to help you work through emotions versus stuffing them and letting them fester. Rhodochrosite is incredibly loving and supportive, and it's really good for those who experience denial and are having trouble letting go and moving on and accepting the reality of the situation. It's important if you're having this experience that it's not something that can be rushed, but if you are understanding that you need to deal with it in a different way, this is probably one of the best stones you can use for that. If you're dealing with a lot of guilt around loss, try Larimar or purple scapolite. These are really great stones to help you find a better place with all of that so you are not internalizing those feelings. Heulandite is a really great stone for recovery. It sort of helps you get back on track when you feel like you've had a bereavement that's just derailed your life. And Sugilite is really supportive when the shock of it all is just too much much for you to handle. And you're left with feelings of anger and resentment. Not only is it uplifting from despair, and it may even help you gain insight to why all these things happened, and if anything, acceptance of events that are out of your control. And when you are finally in a place of letting it all go, whether it's from this lifetime or another lifetime, try some Onyx. It is really good for helping you move past the grief and is there for you when you're ready to go in a new direction. As I said before, there are so many crystals to help so many different aspects of this really unfathomable and very human experience that we all must go through at some point. And like I mentioned before, if I missed something that you absolutely love, put it in the comments.